What's up, guys? Mike in the building. I hope you guys had a great day today. There's a couple hours left in the market, but that's cool. I thought we had a couple great runners today. All right, AFIB. AFIB for me was one of the top watches for me. Okay, AFIB. This is a different type of daily. This is a continuation daily. This thing actually picked up right before close. Okay, and I'll show you real quick. This thing picked up right before close. You're going to see this. Volume started to come in about 1.2 mil, and then there was a lot of after-hour accumulation volume. Okay, a lot of after-hour pop sideways consolidation into close. Okay, I get that there would have been maybe some potential shorting this. I don't know why. You know, maybe maybe a nice little area. Okay, a previous area on the daily. Okay, so that is understandable right there, 100%. But other than that, to me, a lot of this is sideways consolidation. There, to me, structural wise, there's really no breakdown seller. There's really no reason, to me, when I look for accumulation, that there isn't like this significant like seller leaving, or a seller or a buyer being absorbed anywhere up top. Okay, so that's very important for me to understand and look for when I see that. But this is a day 2 continuation, which gave a beautiful week open into that area. Okay, I did start accumulating into here, but I did not go full size because I truly wanted this pivot, this daily pivot, 24 cents to be tested. So that's when I did slam it right here. Okay, so I did slam this. Once this pulled back, I did take a nice position into that one. So I'm going to go over the book. So the book to me is really important. Again, we have our bell that opens up. Let me get out of that setting. Okay. You know, we did have that bell that, okay, so the open market bell, this thing opens up, and I'm looking for absorption. I want to see absorption. I want to see any type of sellers or orders go through, and you're going to see on the book that there's some absorption going on right here and right here. Okay. There's not an indication for me on this that there are sellers going through this and then the book is getting heavy, or it has continuation. All right. Now remember, this is very important. It depends on what context you're using it in, right? Be aware what setup you're trading, what daily you're trading. That's very important. Daily is what important. What structure do we have looking left? All right. And more importantly, like, you know, how much homework are you doing? How much studying? How much data are you collecting? So it's very, very important to have, you know, that inside the playbook, right? So how many day 2 continuations are you looking at, right? It's very important, very imperative, because you're going to start seeing similarities and things that stand out, okay? That's number 1, all right? After this, you're going to see some absorption. Sellers are exhausted. There's no more selling. Now we're above these seller absorption levels, and this is when, you know, this is what really kept me in. And what really kept me in too is when I saw these guys up here, some, you know, 83,000 shares go through over here, and then there's another, you know, 60,000 shares going through right there, and there really wasn't a breakdown. All right, there's no real breakdown. Some more sellers get exhausted right here, and then we started to pick up. All right, we started to pick up and ramp up, and then bids, book flips started to happen. Okay, a book flip. Okay, what's a book flip? A book flip is when we start to, you know, go through a certain area, and then immediately a book flip comes where you see a nice bidder on the book. Okay, so either removing previous area of liquidity or coming into a level. Once we break through that, now a bidder steps up. Now, of course, this is another spoof, and that's okay, whether it's algo, MMs, or anything like that. Okay, very, very important to see continuation. And then for me, what was key, right? So when you're using this in context and you want to see continuation, right? Remember, you know, move that out the way, and remember what we are trading and where. Okay, to me, right, once we break over this sideways pre-market structure, where is that next possible area, right? What is an area of interest, right? And to me, it's this area. So if shorts were here, if any shorts piled in right here, you know, ideally shorts are, you know, maybe some smarter shorts. Maybe they're not just this shorting extensions, right? And I mean like they're waiting for a potential confirmation and then having a level. So to me, this area right here was maybe a potential short area. I could see people shorting just because that's a daily level right here, and that's okay too, because sometimes that works, right? So against 42, 42 failed, and then it gapped down and consolidated for a while. All right. Another key element that happened on this one, which was the ramping volume. Okay, we had 14 mil yesterday. By the time this opened up and started to pull back, we were about 7, 8 mil. All right. As things started to accumulate even more and start to test up, right, off here on the 1, then there was even more volume, and then we had exceeding volume from yesterday. So there's more volume inside of this particular daily pre-market structure and going into open than we had yesterday in after hour, or sorry, strong close into the after hour accumulation. So volume stood out. That was phenomenal. That was one of the great things that I think that is very important to watch as it builds, and then how it builds more importantly, right? And to me, I was able to get a lot of good signs on this and how this was building early on, right? Again, we have open, we have a lot of shares being soaked, no follow through, the book's not getting heavy. And then once we went to go test some previous areas of liquidity, there was also more areas of absorption. So this best offer come in, remember your red line on the book is the best offer. When the best offer came in this, there was actually some bidders stepping up right here, and then some more absorption. All right, and no follow through, so seller exhaustion. That was very, very beautiful and key. And then all of a sudden, to see where this is going, it's kept putting in some higher lows, right? We have a higher low right here, and then a higher low right here. And then we had some nice, areas where they threw on some bid spoofs or threw on some bidders. We had some algo retest other areas of liquidity. And then this is where we kind of see buyers get absorbed, right? So when we see sellers get absorbed, that's I want to see that particular for me on the bottom. And then when buyers get absorbed, this is a lot of volume going through right here, and then no more appetite or continuation. Okay, and things started to pull back, consolidate, pull back, and then some offers started to come in, and the book started to flip on the offer side to me, right? You see some control. All right, this thing tries, it tries. This is another, I have a lot of other videos too of things on the book like this. To me, this is a beautiful trap. Why do I say that? Because this needs to go. Okay? Not only does it need to go, but when a bidder comes in like this, or bids come in and they open this pocket up, to me this is a big trap if there is no continuation. Okay? So this is a beautiful trade. All right? Again, there's a certain area that I started soaking. I wanted to see. I had a clear risk. To me, this was a great RR. Risk to reward, right? Again, accumulation right here started for me because sometimes they're not always going to come back down. But I made sure I prepared myself, right? I mean, 25 cents to a penny, that's a penny, okay? And then if this doesn't break down, I'm losing a few cents per share. And then I ended up getting a full 70% return on this. This was insane. It was another VSME for me. Super happy, super grateful. But that's the breakdown on this one, okay, guys? This is a day 2 continuation. Understanding structure, soak patterns, and then looking for those signs on the book to keep me into play. Things that I want to see continue. This was a great zone. If you guys are not marking out your zones like we know we're trading, this is a big daily zone. There wasn't a 4-hour or an hourly one. It was just pretty much a big dump from this day right here, right? It just kind of went up and then came all the way back down. So, to me, it was really important to retest these areas right here. Okay, so big PT was definitely 40 cents. History, things that might set up the same or repeat themselves, but they have similar characteristics that are going to be presenting themselves, right? So this one did have a day 1 and then a day 2 continuation again. Back here 11.17 and 11.20. All right, and then I went to go look at the range of how much this thing opened up. So this thing pretty much ran 100%. And when I was even mentioning this, 90% was a huge target for me, and this thing actually ran 90%. That was phenomenal. But again, guys, there's a lot of other things going. RVSN, RVSN was gorgeous. I did miss it. Forgot to put it up. I studied this last night. I knew what key levels to play. That's on me because I was so focused on AFIB, and looking into that. But this is a nice 70% return if you understand how to play liquidity traps, and then even if you saw this soaking and holding right here, from the top to right there, you got another 45%. That's at the top, so you figure you probably scale a little bit, 36, maybe get some top ticks for 40%. So this was a nice one. This was a very nice one. This one's a miss, but it doesn't mean that you don't learn from it, right? Pop up the book. The book had some great findings on there to me. It really stood out. Real quick, I'll load this. It's at $8 still. Potential backside, or it wants to hold up. Okay. Boom. I can already see it. Yeah. All right. This one was great. This one was great in the sense because where you're seeing this consolidate and break down, right? This is great absorption to me. There is no follow through. Sellers are exhausted right here. Even when they try again right here, there is no follow through to the downside. All right, someone else is holding this up. Then you get some aggressive buying and swiping right here, right? And then consolidates a little bit more and then really takes off. This is a previous area of interest to me, right? Oops, I gotta go. That's a clear area right here. That would have been a nice re-add, if you did miss that. And then this thing just absolutely took off, okay? You had a very aggressive market buyers on this, okay? This is what you're seeing right here. You got some nice bid support, right? These are spoofs helping control price action, okay? But this is where it got tricky right here. This was a huge swipe down with no follow through. So if anyone did try to short this and they got caught and now they're sitting over here and now they're getting squeezed, okay? This one ran. This one did what it did, what it was supposed to do in my opinion, for a nice liquidity trap, right? And made new highs over previous day one, consolidated, and then made new highs. So this is a great one. All right, guys. Much love. Peace out. Mikey.